Hi friends, and welcome back to another video. Again, I'm so sorry that it's taken me so long to film another video, but I'm hoping from now, even though I said it in the last video, that I will be filming on a more regular basis. I was just enjoying my summer and kind of soaking up all of the time that I could with my family and friends and just enjoying myself, so I didn't prioritize making content. But now that I'm going back into full-time work and getting back on a good schedule, I will be prioritizing content just a little bit more, so look forward to things from me in the future. But for today's video, I figured I would take you guys along with me as we wrap up the month of July, and I want to fit as many books as possible into the month of July just to kind of catch up on my reading goal that I slacked off on over the summer. And I figured why not take you guys along with me this week to see how many audiobooks I can finish, as well as how many crochet projects I can finish. Over the summer, I did get back into arts and crafts, and the biggest thing that I picked back up was crocheting, and I've just been crocheting like a mad woman. So I wanted to take you guys along with me this week just to kind of show you what I get into in a regular week in my life. So if you want to see what I get into this week, go ahead and continue watching. Okay, so as far as audiobooks go for what I want to listen to this week and what I want to try to at least finish this week, I am currently reading the Shadow Grove Universe by Tate James. I was recommended this by two of the best people on Bookstagram, Bay and Devin. They absolutely have the best book recs. If you're looking for more dark romance book recs, definitely check out Bay's page. I will leave her linked below. And then Devin, she's got a multitude of everything going on over there. So if you want a bunch of different book recs, content ideas, playlist. She has a bunch of different pages. I will link her pages below. They recommended me the Tate James universe, specifically the Shadow Grove universe. So I read the Madison Kate series in 3 days, and I listened to them on audio. I am obsessed with Madison Kate and Shadow Grove in general. And so I thought, oh, okay, whatever. Like, I love Madison Kate. I don't know how Madison Kate is going to get topped, but with Tate James in the Shadow Grove universe, there is, I think, 4 series. You have the Madison Kate series, you have the Hades series, you have the Guild series, and then you have one, I think, the Valanche Legacy or something like that. I don't know what the last one is. But I am most of the way through the Hades series, and I have to say, much love to Madison Kate. I love her so much. Hades is just that girl, though. Like, there's no fucking with Hades. Like, Hades is just chef's kiss. Tate James in the Shadow Grove universe is dark romance. It is reverse harem. Please check your trigger warnings, specifically more so for Hades than Madison Kate. But as always, that's up to you. Check your trigger warnings. If you want to take this recommendation to read these specifically on audio, they are chef's kiss. Very great. Love them so much. So I need to finish Timber, which is the last book in the Hades series. And then I'm 64% of the way through that audiobook right now. And I've just been like putting it off because I don't want to leave Hades behind. I love her so much. And I love one of her love interests specifically that makes many appearances in the Madison Kate series. I don't want to say who it is because that will be a plot spoiler. For Madison Kate specifically, but not only Madison Kate, Hades as well too. But if you read them, you probably know exactly who I'm talking about. And let me just say, that man is unmatched. I love him so much, and I don't want to leave him behind. So we need to finish Timber. And then there is a novella for Madison Kate called Vault. It's only like 3 hours long, so I am going to listen to that too this week. And that's where we wrap up with Hades and Madison Kate. Tate James specifically says, don't read Vault, the novella, until you finished Hades. So I'm kind of sad to leave even Madison Kate and Hades behind. And then I do want to try to finish the Guild series as well. I have my theories on the Guild series and who it surrounds, and we visit a little bit of the Guild in Madison Kate, and then you hear a lot more about the Guild. Not really, it's still very a mysterious thing in Hades. And I need to know what the Guild's got going on. Like, I can't wait any longer, so I'm going to try to listen to all 3 of the Guild audiobooks as well, too. And that should be what kind of wraps up our week. So those are the audiobooks that I'll be reading. Those are the crochet projects that I'll be working on. So let's get right into it. Okay, so I went ahead and charged up my headphones all the way. I'm going to go ahead and just plug myself in here. I've casted on my project so that way I can continue to work on it. But I am about 67% through the way of Timber, and I'm just going to sit here until I'm 100% of the way through Timber. There may be tears. There's definitely going to be some sadness because I'm not ready to leave Hades behind. But I definitely need to finish this because I am renting these via audio on Hoopla, and I want to be courteous to the people who want to read the books around me too. So let's go ahead and jump right into Timber. Okay, so I just wrapped up Timber by Tate James, and 10 out of 10, no notes. I absolutely loved Hades, the series, and it wrapped up so well. Even more satisfying than the Madison Kate series, in my opinion, and I really enjoyed it. So I also went ahead and finished the second panel for my hexagon cardigan, which I was just absolutely, as the action was heating up in that book, I was like, oh my God, crocheting even faster. But I finished the second panel and I realized that it wasn't as big as I wanted it. So I'm going to go ahead and just go back in with this cream color here. And I'm going to add 2 more rows to just round it out. And I've already started that on the first original panel. So I'm just going to keep doing that. And I'm going to do that while I listen to the Madison Kate novella Vault. So I'm going to get into that right now. Good morning, friends, and happy Tuesday. It is the second day of this week for me. So last night, as I said in a previous clip, I finished up Timber as well as the novella for Madison Kate for Vault. And I just kind of wanted to take a second to just kind of like unpack all of Hades and Madison Kate and just kind of my thoughts on it because I just have so much love for both of those series. So if you've never read any of Tate James's books in the Shadow Grove universe, they're all reverse harem, like I've said before. And this is like my first reverse harem book that I've really ever taken the time to like sit down and read and actually like enjoy what I'm reading. I've read another reverse harem that I just didn't think was written very well and I didn't enjoy it. So I went into this with more of an open mind because my friends had recommended it and it came highly recommended. So I was thoroughly surprised, just to kind of like keep my thoughts to no spoilers, at how much Madison Kate really just blew me out of the water. I think that if you're looking for a badass FMC who takes no shit from the men around her, even though she has several to choose from, trust me, they get on her nerves, and trust me, she gets on theirs, and she makes sure that she irks on every single last nerve of theirs, just to prove her point that she's not going to take any shit from them. And that's why I love Madison Kate so much and why I enjoyed that series so much. And then as we move on to Hades, Hades is now the badass in charge. And so you kind of get to see an even more badass FMC who just takes absolutely no shit from not even just men, but anyone. And she's the one that's leading the charge for everything going on. And so I think that these really just kind of like reverse harem aside were just really, really great books, plot wise and pacing wise. And the audios were just immaculate. I don't have any notes, zero notes. I think that everyone that played a character in the audiobook did an amazing job, and I'm excited to move on to the Guild series. I actually did start some of the Guild series, and let me just say, as we learn about the Guild in Madison, Kate, and Hades, they're a very mysterious, like, black market group of mercenaries that are run by this thing called the Circle, and it's a very mysterious topic. So I knew I had to jump straight into the Guild after I finished Vault, because I think there's a little bit of overlap between Vault and the Guild potentially. I'm not entirely sure. As I read, I guess I'll find out, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was a little bit of overlap from the very end of Vault to the Guild series. And let me just say, I'm about 21% of the way through. I think the first book is called Honey Trap. And one thing that I'm really enjoying about the Guild series over the Madison Kate series and Hades series is you do get dual POV in those books, but it's only for like the first chapter of each books. Or first chapter of each book, you get a perspective of one of the men in the harem, and then the rest of the book is in the female main character's perspective. So it's kind of a change of pace with the Guild series to have kind of a dual POV. We're getting both a dual POV from the female main character right now, and then one of the first men up in this reverse harem. And so it's nice to kind of get a change of pace from just solely reading from the female perspective to getting both perspectives. I think it makes it a little bit more fun. Honestly, like I said, I'm only 21% of the way through, and I've had many a laugh already as far as Honey Trap goes, and I'm really, really excited to dive deeper into the Guild series. But as far as the things that I've crocheted, as I was listening to Vault and the rest of Timber yesterday, I went ahead and finished up one of the panels of my cardigan and actually sewed the sleeve on and added a few rows to the sleeve too, just to kind of test out the pattern a little bit. This is a royal pain in my ass. I was not expecting a simple cardigan to kick my ass so bad, but it did. This is the one panel that I had to do a little bit of extra work on, because I wanted to connect the seams together in one way and that didn't end up working out. So I just went ahead and slip stitched the seams together. It's not the most crispy, clean seam, but honestly, I'm not a perfectionist in that manner. I don't particularly care. It's my cardigan. The seams don't matter to me. But what really kicked my ass about this cardigan yesterday was, because it's a hexagon cardigan, I'm jumping between multiple patterns, which is probably really stupid of me. But I found out that the sizing was wrong, so I did have to go in and add 2 more rows of the cream. When I showed it to you guys yesterday, we had stopped at the dark brown color, but I need to add 2 more rows of the cream. We have one down and we have the second one started. The only issue that I ran into with this panel specifically, this is the one that I actually tried to like sew together with yarn. Again, like I said in that first panel, it's a slip stitch join. This one I tried to sew together with the mattress stitch, and I suck at hand sewing. And it pissed me off so bad that I thought that I cut the like string that I used to sew it together. Did not. I cut the panel. So even though this cream part was done yesterday, I completely cut into the stitches for not just one of the rows, for both of the rows. And so I had to redo this. So where I ended up yesterday was we finished the one panel. This is completely done. It's going to be ready to sew together to this, which again will be a slip stitch join. I'm not even going to attempt to mattress stitch them together. I just find that the slip stitch is the most comfortable for me. Again, I'm an advanced beginner. There is no way that I know how to do any type of sewing that's not on a machine. I have bought a sewing machine, so I'm going to be learning that as well too, but that doesn't work in this case. So as I'm reading more of Guild this morning, I'm going to just go ahead and finish up this panel as far as the second row of cream, so that way I can slip stitch it together. And then I will go on and add a couple rows to the sleeve, and then I will go ahead and stitch it together. That's probably all that I'm going to crochet, because yesterday I was so angry at the fact that I honestly fucked up on that part. So I am just going to try to get that done today. I'm not going to pressure myself to like fast crochet or anything like that. Just like I'm a slow reader, I am a very, very slow crocheter. Again, with my dexterity issues, I just find that taking a slower pace with crocheting is good for me and it works for me. I'm not in competition with anybody else but myself. So we're just going to go ahead and finish this panel and try to get a little bit further into Guild, or into the Guild series, into Honey Trap specifically. I want to try to get to like 50% today, so we'll see if I get to about 50% today. But that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to go ahead and put on my headphones and listen to more of the Honey Trap, and I will meet back up with you guys once I have this all stitched up and kind of more of my thoughts on Honey Trap as I finish this panel and get everything put together. So let's get into it. Take 3,485. Hi guys! Welcome to day 3 of Crochets and Audiobooks and Chaos. It's been a time over here, guys. It's really been a time. Remember how yesterday I was telling you guys about how I was so excited but a little bit annoyed with this cardigan that I was making because it was being a pain in my rear? Cardigan still being a pain. But rather than 2 panels, at least we have one cohesive piece of clothing here. So the cardigan is mostly done. We've got one sleeve on this side that's already started, and then we have a completed sleeve. And this is where I say when this cardigan was being a pain, I know I talked about how I've done wearables before, but they've been very mesh wearables, so they're super easy patterns to put together and everything. This is my first true, like, full-sized wearable, so I ran into some problems with the pattern. Not that it's the pattern's problem, it's Keone can't read problem, it's that kind of problem. I read the pattern backwards, not that I read it backwards, but I read the row numbers backwards, and I did it wrong. But when I put the cardigan on, it looks completely fine. It just looks a little wonky when it's not on. So, yeah. Remember how I was like, oh, I'm a perfectionist, and I frogged the whole Light Fury project because I wanted it to be perfect? We're not doing that in this case. I'm so over this cardigan already, and we're only on day 3 of this. I'm not frogging it, guys. I'm not. Another thing, like I said, kind of like, I don't know what the hell's going on there. But this is perfect. The stitches on this is perfect. It looks nice. It's cohesive. Whatever. I just wish I would have made this maybe like a little bit. I should have decreased a little bit on this. I don't know why. I don't know. I think it looks fine when it's on. It doesn't look fine when it's off. As long as it looks fine when it's on, there's not much I can do about what it looks like when I'm not wearing it. So, that's where we're at the cardigan. As far as continuing the cardigan, I know I really wanted to finish it before the end of this video, but my audiobooks are just getting so good. I'm obsessed with the Guild series. I know that I say that with every Tate James series, that it gets better and better. Hades is still my favorite series so far. But the Guild, the first book, Honey Trap, it's the best first book out of all of her series that I've read so far. I am obsessed with Malachi Arden. He is my favorite Tate James main character that's a male. And I need Kai biblically. So, Jesus, you and I will be having a conversation later this week. Just kidding. My husband probably won't appreciate that. Anyways, so the crochet projects were not matching the vibes of my audiobooks. So I was like, we need to switch it up. Okay, this is getting old. It's getting stale. I'm so tired of the granny stitch that I'm going to go insane if I have to do another granny stitch. So I was thinking to myself, I have some of this yarn that I purchased from Hobby Lobby this last week. I was going to make a hexagon cardigan with these just because I was like, oh, it's Rapunzel. I'm making a Disney Princess wearables product line for myself. Like, I'm making a little wardrobe of Disney Princess wearables. These are Wraps colors. And I know Wraps' purple is a little bit darker than this. I think I might go back and get another darker purple to add to it. But I kind of like the lightness of this. And two, I just booked my plane tickets for my last vacation of the year. So I'm feeling like since we're going somewhere a little bit tropical and more fun, we need to make a wearable for that. That can also just work as my Rapunzel wearable as well too. Since it's hot where we're going, it's also kind of hot in California. So I'm thinking we do one of two things with this. And where my head is going with this is there's the sleeves that you can make where it just literally comes over your shoulders, and then there's big whimsical sleeves. I can do that and then because I have literally tank tops that match these colors that just wear a tank top underneath. Or I'm thinking, what if I did kind of on the same wavelength, like a tie top with the bell sleeves. Either way, I'm thinking I'm leaning more towards just the sleeves where it goes like this. I just want something very pixie, whimsical, fairy to go with this. And you're thinking, that seems more online for Tinkerbell. You're right. Do I care? Absolutely not. So I think we'll be making sleeves with this. But another yarn that I found at Hobby Lobby that I was actually really, really excited to find, because again, I'm doing princess wearables, so this is kind of dual, like I can use it for more than one project. I found this. Now you're thinking, oh, Tiana. Yes, TT is another one of my favorite princesses, and I love her down bad, so I will eventually make something for her. I'm thinking probably along the same lines with some sleeves. But then it dawned on me. I also love Universal Studios. You see where I'm going with this, guys? Okay, you should be 10 steps ahead of me by this point. I am still so upset that I could not find the Shrek ears that Universal Studios offered because they sold out instantly, because if you're like me and you're a rot in your bed kind of girly, you're also a Shrek girly, and I'm a Shrek girly. So I'm thinking I'm also going to make a Shrek bucket hat to kind of fill the void for the Shrek ears until I can find them. Because I'm not about to hop on an $800 flight to Orlando, Florida to go to Universal Studios Orlando to go get them. Or pay reseller prices on Mercari for them. So I figured I'm crafty enough. I'm going to make myself a Shrek bucket hat. So I think out of the two, as far as like what I'm going to start on, I think I'm going to start with the Shrek bucket hat. But we'll probably jump in between both projects. And then today for my audiobook, I'm going to just continue listening to Dead Drop because, like I said, I need more Kai in my life. One thing that I'm running into that's a problem, though, is I'm reading all of Tate James's books through audio on Hoopla. One thing I found is they have every single one of her audiobooks except Kill Order, which is the third audiobook of the Guild series. And when I tell you that I'm literally going insane trying to find a way to get this audiobook for free, for like completely legal ways, by the way, we don't pirate around here. I think I'm just going to have to chalk it up and buy it on Audible for the like $12, $13 that it is. But then I just fear that my thing is going to be like, oh, well, if I have Kill Order on audiobook, then I need to purchase all the other ones, and I need to tell myself, no, you don't need all of the other audiobooks that you read. Or if you want to listen to them again, just borrow them through Hoopla or Libby. So I'm hoping I can find a way to rent it without having to buy it, because I know if I buy it, I'm going to immediately think I need all of the other ones, just as like Audible shelf trophies are not, it's not Audible, Jesus. I do have some Audible books, but the other one, Libro FM. Yeah, I need it for my Libro FM shelf trophy, and I don't need all of the ones that I've already read. So we're going to hope that we can find Kill Order available to rent somewhere before I finish Dead Drop. If not, honestly, you're probably going to hear back from me by tomorrow saying, I had to order Kill Order on Amazon through Audible or through Libro FM or whatever. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today, is I'm going to get back into my audiobook of Dead Drop, praying on my knees, hoping we have more Kai chapters than Leon chapters in this book, because as much as I love Leon, I don't care. I don't care what he has to say. I don't care how unhinged he is. I don't care. No hate to Tate James or anything like that. The love that I have for Kai is unreal, and I just need the entire book to be about him. So Tate, if you and I are thinking on the same brain cell and wavelength, I think that you should write an audiobook, and not write an audiobook, you should write a book that's just endless pages. It never ends, about Kai, and my shelf will be complete for life. I won't need any other book in my life, and I won't need any other audiobook in my life. My TBR, consider it gone. If you write a book about Kai that never ends. I love him that much. So let's get into crocheting this Shrek bucket hat, and let's get into Dead Drop again today, and we will, hopefully, if I freaking remember, to meet back up tonight to kind of go over what I read in Dead Drop, see if I finished Dead Drop, and how far I got into the Shrek bucket hat. So let's get into it.